So back to boards in my collection. It ranges from 10 inches all the way down to about 6.5 inches. This is the smallest board in my collection. This is a Searat Surf Check, and honestly, I feel like everyone should have this in their lineup. I mean, do I even have to begin to explain why? I mean, look at this thing. And there's really two ways you can set this board up. But before we get into that, let's just go over all the specs on this bad boy. So here we got a closer look of the Searat Surf Check. The widest point of the board is about 7 inches, and I think the smallest part of the board, like where the trucks go over, is about 6.5. It might be actually 6. We'll measure it in a minute. Otherwise, then, it has independent 109s on here. So the independent 109s are the smallest trucks that they make. And honestly, like, they're great, and they look really sick, honestly. Like, look how fresh these things look. Okay, and then of course we're going to talk about these rails. These rails, blunt steel. The guy who has like those little roll-up grind bars, that's what these are actually supposed to be. Do you see how it's like a bump up and over it? It's like the actual rail. I'll like add a picture so you guys see what I'm talking about. Anyway, they're like custom rails we got made. So I threw them on here, threw them super close to the trucks. No reason really. Like I do board slides on this, but it's really more just like aesthetic. Honestly, I don't even know what wheels these are. These came off of a cruiser board. I'm trying to see what that logo even is. They're 61 by 78A. I was going to guess, I think it even says Arbor or something. But anyway, so these are just essentially just big cruiser wheels. So big softies on here. But like I was saying, this board could be set up two different ways. Me and a few other people who had these setups, we actually set it up with some regular like wheels, and it was also like a really fun setup like that, because then it was a little bit more functional. You could do a little bit more popping, but I think that the soft wheels on it is definitely like the way to go. So here's a closer view on top right here. It's got a nice size tail, honestly, and got some curb dog grip tape right here. I actually have this on sale on my Depop site, if you're wondering. But yeah, it's got a tiny little nose, wheels stick out a little bit. But this is actually like usually my filming board right now. Like that's kind of like the point of this board is filming. And I kind of just like leave this board in my car just so like whenever I go somewhere, if I need to like, if I park somewhere far or something, it's just easy to cruise to or something. You know, it's like a really convenient board. I mean, it is called the Surf Check, so you go check the surf with this bad boy. You cruise on the boardwalk, go cruise to get a burrito, maybe hit the liquor store. I mean, this thing's got to do a lot of things, and it can. And it's got a nice size tail, like I was saying, so you can still pop it and whatnot. We can get into even further specs, where I think it's actually a 14-inch wheelbase. So we'll do some measurements and just kind of show you guys a little bit more detail on that. Okay, I'm going to do my best to hold my phone with this right here. My microphone's kind of in the way. But I did measure the wheelbase. It is a 14-inch wheelbase, so it's definitely like really responsive and turns quick, especially with these trucks. And the shape of it, you can just like really turn. You don't really get any wheel bite at all, which is pretty amazing. Here's just a little top view part right here. Ooh, it's getting away from me. So 7 inches right here. That's the widest part of the board. As we go over the trucks, though, it's about like 6 inches, I want to say. So it definitely slims down when it gets down to the trucks. I low-key forgot to film how long it is, and it is about 27 inches long. So it's definitely a short board, You could throw this thing in your backpack pretty much, Like I was saying, you could like put all your pressure and you still don't even like touch your wheel. It's nuts. And I don't even have riser pads on this thing. Look at this. It's just like regular, and you don't get any wheel bite. It's actually like kind of insane. So that pretty much sums it up for my Searat Surf Check right here. I think this board's pretty essential for all different kinds of reasons, from just cruising, filming, seshing, just kind of always having a board in your car. Also, they're all handmade, just to remind everybody, so I feel like they're all kind of like made with love. Oh yeah, so lastly, I guess I'll leave you guys with a few clips of like me and the homies shredding them in all different types of ways. So yeah, I mean, don't sleep on these. Is that chill? So that's the smallest board in my collection. Damn. Got it.
First try.